Welcome to Dynasty Ballpark. We have a match about to get underway here, Diamond 1, between the PCU Devils and the Albion Anteaters. Just running a tiny bit late due to a great game between the Devils and RKS Blinders. The Devils just being able to take that one in the 7th innings. So due to get underway shortly. PCU just taking the diamond now and introducing the defensive lineup for PCU Devils. We've got on a pitching mound Ryan Britt, in behind the dish Dylan Potts, over at first base Hapani Kumaro, at second base Romana Kumaro, at third base Rico Ratu, at shortstop we've got Curtis Dove, out in left field Matt Ogier, at centre field Jaden Potts, and right field Quinn Wickens. The PCU Devils are running with a DP with Max Sargent in there batting for Ryan Britt, and they've got a designated runner also with Josh Snelgar. And looking like we have Dave Fortin in behind the plate here for our Blues team. Great to see him back. He has been out and about, travelling internationally over the winter and getting amongst it overseas, so it's great to see him back here in Otatahi. And leading off for the Albion Anteaters, we've got number 23, shortstop for the Albion Anteaters, Caleb Parsons. On deck circle we've got Patrick Hayward. So notably a few names missing here for the Devils. We've got a few players away over in Aussie for the Black Sox team, and 2 players also away with the Major Sox. So great for the local talent getting into those teams. And a hard hit down first baseline, going foul of the line for a strike one. So it's great to have our players. We have from the Devils Bailey Hamilton, Cam Watts away with the Black Sox, and a beautiful pitch there going high on the inside, drawing swing out of Parsons, going for 2 strikes. In the Major Sox for the PCU Devils we've got Ruben Elkins and Leon Lum away representing NZ. Another hard hit down first baseline, foul again for Parsons. Loves that inside pitch, always drives it hard down that right side. Also from the PCU Devils away with the Black Sox, we've got Liam Potts, pitcher. And Patrick Hayward into the batter's box now for the Albion Anteaters. You're going to get that high pitch, fouling it back. Got 1 ball 2 strikes. A young player here for the Albion Anteaters, but very established in the team, and behind the dish, catching for them. And number 2 hitter, just taking at the plate on the swing. So got 2 down. And into the batter's box now for the Albion Anteaters. We've got Corey Durham.
Oh, yes.
Corey stepping into some coaching for us with our under-23 fastball 45 being played on a Wednesday night. His team is in the finals this coming Wednesday, doing a great job in there. Got some great coaches in there for those teams. At 101. That one just getting away from pitcher. Britt gets a long way on the outside, but 2 and 2. And staying alive on that one on the inside, fouling it back into the net. Count remains 2 and 2. So just on the horizon here for next weekend, we're hosting 16 teams across the 3 tournaments. We've got the Under-17 Mainland Shield in both males and females getting underway on Saturday. And we have the Jeffreys Cup, the South Island Provincial Championship. Got 5 teams in that one. And we have the Waitaha Toru tournament with our Canterbury Red Hawks, Canterbury Under-19 girls, and invitational selection. Apologies for the quiet mute there, team. Phone calls coming through. Introducing the defensive lineup for the Albion Anteaters. On the pitching mound, we've got Chris Agnew, and behind the dish, Patrick Hayward. Over at first base, Tim Nevin. At second base, Kotiti Patia. Over at third base, Corey Durham. Shortstop, Caleb Parsons. Left field, Dan Wheeler. Centre field, Ryan Rhodes. And right field, Bill McDonald. Leading off for the PCU Devils, we've got Hapani Kumara. It's a high hit to the left field. Dan Wheeler out there tracking it, taking the fly ball nice and cleanly out there for first out here in the bottom of the first innings. Enjoying this, the swing out of Curtis Dove. We've got to count to 1 and 1. And beautiful pitch there by Chris Agnew on the outside of the plate. And good call there by Dave Fortin. Full count on hitter Curtis Dove. And drives this one through the gap of 5-6 over the heads of the shortstop. Picking up the single, recording a hit. And into the batter's box now for the PCU Devils, we've got Jaden Potts. And on the attempt of bunt, a surprise bunt there by Potts. Called strike. And fouling that one over the fence, takes the count out to 2 strikes. And a beautiful pitch on the outside of the plate, draws a swing from Potts to get the second out at the plate. So in the bottom of the first innings, 2 down, runner on 1, and into the batter's box now for the PCU Devils. We've got Dylan Potts. And Dove stealing down to 2, ball just getting away from shortstop, unable to bring it in to make the play. And pitch down the middle there by Agnew. We've got 1 and 1. And up high. So Dylan the batter here, actually against his teammates from last year, have moved across from playing for the Albion Anteaters, moving over to the PCU Devils this season. Is in there now with his 2 brothers. And that one down low, just getting away from catcher Hayward, allowing Dove round 2-3. 3 balls, 1 strike. There's 2 outs. Runner on 3 here for the Devils. No score on the board yet in the bottom of the first innings. And a hard hit down to shortstop, just coming out of the glove of Parsons, will record a hit for Dylan Potts and score a run with Dove coming across home plate. And into the batter's box now for the Devils. We've got Quinn Wickens. And that one into the ground, delivery by Agnew. Just Hayward not able to grab that one. It's an awkward bounce. Allows Potts over to second base. So Jaden Potts in to run for his brother Dylan. And one ball here on Wickens. And nice rise there by Agnew to draw the swing out of Wickens. We've got 2 balls, 1 strike. And a nice pitch on the inside there to take the count out to 2 balls, 2 strikes. That one right on the handle of Wickens' bat, and a great attempt there by Corey Durham to get under that to take the fly ball, but sliding in to get under it, unable to glove it. He had to cover a lot of ground to get to that. So great attempt. We've got 2 balls, 2 strikes on Wickens. And this one, hard hit down to shortstop. Parsons unable to bring that one in, goes out to the centre fielder to throw it in. So Wickens picks up the hit. Potts scores. Wickens picking up the RBI. This question being raised whether the runner impeded the play by the shortstop, but our Blues say no. And it brings into the batter's box now for the PCU Devils, Romana Kumaro. And Wickens taking off down to second base and getting under the tag by Parsons. A nice attempt there. Great throw down by Patrick Hayward to have the attempt at that one. A nice close play. 2 strikes here on Kumaro. And that one. That was a wee blooper hit over top of the first baseman, but fielded really quickly by the right outfielder to make the play at 1 to get the out. So the PCU Devils taking the lead in this game as we head into the top of the second innings. 2 runs to 0. Leading off the Albion Anteaters, we've got Dan Wheeler. Dan, one of our assistant coaches for our representative teams. So he's the assistant coach with the under 19 boys. And great grab there by Dylan Potson behind the dish to draw that one. It was well on the outside of the plate. It was a bit close to that one, slowly bringing it in. We've got 2 balls. And that one hits the spot. We've got 2 balls, 1 strike. So Wheeler being nice and patient in that batter's box. We've got 3 balls, 1 strike. And picking up the base on balls, Dan Wheeler makes his way down to first base to get a lead runner out there for the Albion Anteaters, and that brings into the batter's box now for the Anteaters, number 2, Tim Nevin. So for those interested in what's going on with the international ball, Canterbury having a good handful of players away for that. An attempt at the bunt, called strike on that one. So the red and black players that are over there with the Black Sox and the Major Sox, we've got Callum Bishop from Papanui, we have Liam Potts, Bally Hamilton and Cam Watts, all from the PCU Devils, and we've got Josh Kelly from the Rolleston Raptors. In the Major Sox, we have both Ruben and Leon Lum, Ruben Elkins and Leon Lum in there, both from the PCU Devils. And for those wanting to watch that, there's some games getting underway on Monday. First game for the Major Sox is 1 p.m. in New Zealand, and the first game for the Black Sox, 3 p.m. Great that they can have a Trans-Tasman series at this time of the year. That one brought in on the bunt play, and the force play out at second, so getting the lead runner. Nice work there. A nice bunt there by Niven. Into the batter's box now for the Albion Anteaters. We've got Chris Agnew on deck circle. We've got Kortiti Patia. And following that one back into the net, going nice and strong at that first pitch for strike 1. Brett certainly works the outside of the plate hard. He certainly has been this game. And attempt at the bunt, foul down first baseline. Takes a count out, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And picking up the strike on the outside, gets you out at the plate for the second out here in the top of the second innings, and brings into the batter's box now number 8, Kortiti Patia. On deck circle, we've got Ryan Rhodes. Again, looking to go on the outside of the plate. Got 2 balls, 1 strike here on Patia. Yeah, it's a beautiful hit. It's going to be into the gap of the 8-9. And Patia's got some wheels. He's making his way around second base. Pushes Niven over to third. And a beautiful 2-bagger there for Kotiti Patia. It brings him to batters box now for the Albion Anteaters. Ryan Rhodes. And drawing the swing out of Rhodes on that low inside. A nice pitch. Takes the count out to 1 ball, 2 strikes. That one getting away from catcher, but good decision there by Tim Niven not to go. It came hard off the fence. Certainly would have been out cold at home plate if he had. But 2 balls, 2 strikes. Full count on Rhodes. And hitting it on the cheek swing, fouling it off, stays alive.
Full count. 3, gotta be good.
And ball inside low. Rhodes picking up the walk. And that brings into the batters box now for the Albion Anteaters with floater bags. Number 99, Bill McDonald. And clocking up 2 strikes. Nice and early here, Britt. And looking to slap that one, but being on the outside, not being able to get contact Leaves all three runners stranded on base as we head into the bottom of the second innings. The score currently 2-0 to the PCU Devils. And we're about to get back underway here in the bottom of the second inning. Into the batter's box now for the PCU Devils. We've got DP, Max Sargent. And that went up the handle, going over to shortstop Caleb Parsons, who fields it nice and cleanly and gets the out at 1. And that'll bring into the batter's box now for the Devils, Rico Ratu. And that one just getting away from pitcher Agnew. 2 balls. So for those interested in what's going on next weekend here at Dynasty Ballpark, we'll be hosting in the Jeffreys Cup. We have teams from Marlborough, South Canterbury, Otago, Southland, and of course here in Canterbury, competing in that Jeffreys Cup. Great to see teams from right across the South Island coming to compete for that. And a 3-1 count here on Ratu. And in the Boys Mainland Shield, which is an under-17 tournament, we have teams from Nelson, South Canterbury, Otago, Southland and Canterbury competing in that one. Again, really great to have the spread. And Ratu picking up the base on balls, heads on down to 1 and brings into the batter's box now for the Devils, Matt Ogier. And in the female side of next weekend, as I said about the Waitaha Toru tournament earlier, but in the mainland under-17 girls, we have our Canterbury team, our Otago team and a Canterbury development team battling it out there for that mainland shield. And looking to go short, that one getting past Ogier for a 2-strike count. And drawing a swing and getting the out at the plate. We've got 2 down here in the bottom of the second innings. Runner over at 1 and into the batter's box now. We've got Hapani Kumaro. And going at that first pitch for a foul. And fouling that one back. You have 2 strikes on Kumura. That's a beautiful hit there through the middle for Hapani Kumura. That'll take Ra to around. He's going to go home. And Kumura, stand up double there, picking up an RBI. And it brings into the batter's box now for the Devils. Good stuff. 2 down here in the bottom of the second innings, runner over at 2. And Kumura stealing down to 3. He was gone no matter what, but that pitch getting away from catcher Hayward. Certainly curved on the outside away from him. So ball 1 here on Dove. Foul tip. And a hard hit down through second base for Curtis Duff. He's going to take the extra base around 2-2. Picks up the RBI with Kumura coming across the plate. And the Devils extending their lead out 4-0 here in the bottom of the second innings. So still 2 down here. Into the batter's box now we have Jaden Potts, on deck circle brother Dylan Potts. And nice lead strike there by Agnew. And a hard hit down through the 5-6 hole for Potts. He'll pick up the RBI with Duff coming across the plate and record the hit as a single. And into batter's box now for the Devils. We've got Dylan Potts. And Jaden Potts sealing down to 2, and the ball just getting away from, and the transition from Hayward, unable to make an attempt at him. We got 1 ball, 1 strike. And fouling that one out over the fence. Takes a count out, 1 ball, 2 strikes. and a high hit ball in foul territory, and Tim Niven taking the catch, maybe a little bit harder than it needed to be, I feel, but anyway, nonetheless took the catch, and that'll take us into the top of the third innings. The score currently 5-0 to the Devils. And we're back here in the top of the third innings. Leading off for the Albion Anteaters is their lead-off batter, Caleb Parsons. And fouling that one back on a short play for a one-strike count.
Everybody's here.
A hard hit ball down to first baseman Hapani Kumaroa, who takes it himself and makes a play on the force at 1. And that'll bring it into the batter's box now for the Albion Anteaters, Patrick Hayward. And a bouncer down to shortstop Curtis Dove, who makes the play over to 1 and gets the second out in the top of the third innings, and that brings into the batter's box now for the Albion Anteaters, third baseman Corey Durham. Hard hit down third base, picked up nicely there by Ratu, who makes it a little harder on Kumaroa over at first than it probably needed to be, but in the end, getting the out. A nice clean innings there for the Devils. Albion will be looking to hit back just the same, heading into the bottom of the third innings. 5-0. So our games next weekend will be in the time slots of 9, 11, 1, 3 and 5 on day 1, and on day 2, 9, 11 and 1 o'clock being our finals. It'd be great to get everybody down to the ballpark to support both the Canterbury teams and our visiting teams. And leading off for the PCU Devils, we've got Quinn Wickens. And a nice pitch there by Chris Agnew, drawing the swing. And again, beating the swing, takes it out to 2 strikes. And a little more patient on that one. Got 1 ball, 2 strikes. And he got a hold of that one. It's high into the 8-9 gap, but tracked beautifully out there by Ryan Rhodes, who takes the fly ball and gets the first out in the bottom of the 3rd innings. And I'll bring into the batter's box now for the Devils, number 27, Romana Kumaro. And on the swing, that takes a count out. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Full count on batter Kumaro. And Kumaro picking up the walk. And we see DR Josh Snellgar coming into the game to run for Kumaro. A young player. Great to have him involved in this Premier game. And Max Sargent in the batter's box now for the Devils. And popping that one up. A bit of a collision there with umpire and 3rd baseman on that fly ball, committing to going in to get that fly just like he did last time, but when we've got our eye on the ball, we don't necessarily see the people in front of us. So 1 strike on Max Sargent, runner over at 1. And fouling that one into the net. 2 strikes. And foul tip there, not being able to be pulled in by our catcher, but they have another go at him now. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a beautiful pitch there by Chris Agnew to get the out of the plate. That takes it out to 2 down here in the bottom of the 3rd innings. Runner over at 1 still and brings into the batter's box now Rico Ratu. Got the wind just picking up here at the ballpark. Chill in the air, but beautiful sunny day here. And a hard hit down to second baseman Kotiti Patia, who gets the out. So Albion doing a good job there, not allowing any more runs across the plate in that innings. Score remains 5-0. And we're heading into the top of the 4th innings. And we've got a defensive change here for the Devils. We've got number 1, Quinn Wickens, coming in to relieve Ryan Britt on the pitching mound. I believe we have Dane Jorgensen out in right field, taking the position that Wickens was at. And Britt is staying in now. And leading off the Albion Anteaters, we've got Dan Wheeler. That's a nice start there by Wickens with the called strike. And back to that outside of the plate to get another strike. This time going on the inside, not drawing the swing. We've got 1 ball, 2 strikes. Count of 2-2. And this one going back over the net. Count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. a nice pitch there by Quinn Wickens to get the out of the plate. And that'll bring into the batter's box now for the Albion Anteaters. Tim Niven on deck circle, Chris Agnew over at the gate, Kortesi Patia. And the outside of that plate working really well there for Wickens. A 1 strike. And batter adjusting to the outside and fouling it down the line. 2 strikes. And that one just a little bit too far on the outside, takes it out to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. In the top of the 4th innings, 1 out. And a hard hit ball down to second baseman Romana Kumura, who makes the out at 1 and takes out to 2 outs here in the top of the 4th innings and brings into the batter's box now for the Albion Anteaters. Pitcher Chris Agnew. It's a great hit there by Chris Agnew. That's going into the gap of 8-9, short of the outfielders. And that'll bring into the batter's box now for the Albion Anteaters, number 8, Kortesi Patia. Not going to give any relief to pitcher Chris Agnew there. No temporary runner coming in for him. And that went up the handle for him, being picked up by the third baseman Rika Ratu, who gets it out at 1. So heading into the bottom of the 4th innings, the score still 5-0 to the PCU Devils. Such a mullet. And we're into the bottom of the fourth innings. Leading off for the Devils, we've got Matt Ogier. And going at the first pitch for a called strike. And fouling this one off over the fence. Chased by the fielders, but out of reach. 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. For those just tuning in, we're in the bottom of the fourth innings, 5 runs to 0. Matt Ogier in the batter's box here for the Devils. Lead off hitter for them. 2-2 on a batter. And Agnew winning that battle with getting the first out at the plate. And that brings into the batter's box now for the Devils. Lead off hitter Hapani Kumura. And going at that first pitch, fouling it into the net. And the change of pace going up high. We've got 1 ball, 1 strike. Two balls, 2 strikes. And a hard hit, nicely played there by Kotiti Patia, making the out over to 1. A diving play to draw that one in from the ground ball. And that brings into batter's box now for the Devils. Shortstop, Curtis Dove. And a hard hit ball to shallow left field. Bouncing on in. And the stand-up double for Dove. And into the batter's box now for the Devils. We've got number 4, Jaden Potts. So 2 down, runner at 2. And Potts swinging on that rise ball.
Hey Joe, let's go now. Like you can now,
And a hard hit down at the 5-6 hole there for Potts. That'll score Dove, and the single for Jaden Potts. And that'll bring in the batter's box now for the Devils, Dylan Potts. And a ball on the outside, attempt down at the pick-off with Jaden Potts, but back safe to first base. And shout out to our sign holders out on the fence, Area Landscapes. You may be able to see down the camera there, our fence sponsor. And that's a gap into the outfield, and good running there by Jaden Potts to get himself round to third base on that one. And Dylan Potts down to one. DR coming in for Dylan over to first base. So runners on the corners here for the Devils. Into the batter's box now, you've got the pitcher, Quinn Wickens. So as I was saying, shout out to the Area Landscapes. Anything you want done around your section, give Richie a call for any landscaping that you may need. Also, an extension of that business is One Gifted Tree, having a sale next weekend, I believe, Saturday morning out Ohoka Way. And foul ball by Wickens. So a great time to get any Christmas presents that you may want to get, those special gifts. Head on out to One Gifted Tree out Ohoka for that sale next week. Time called. So 1 ball, 1 strike here in 2 down in the bottom of the 4th innings. We got runners on 2 and 3. And my apologies, not a DR coming on for Dylan Potts. We had temporary runner come in. So Curtis Dove's over at 2 for the running there. And a nice pitch there by Agnew to take the count out, 1 ball, 2 strikes. And a beautiful pitch on the inside there by Chris Agnew to get the out at the plate and prevent any runs coming in. Those runners left stranded on base. The PCU Devils extending their lead in that innings by another run. So we've got 6 runs to 0 to Devils, and we're heading into the top of the 5th innings. So, heading into the top of the fifth innings, leading off for the Albion Anteaters, we've got Ryan Rhodes. And a lead strike for Wickens. One and two. And on the swing, the out's taken at the plate, and that brings into batter's box. Change of player here. And to have a hit, we got Isaac Nation. And nice pitch on the outside of the plate. Drawing a swing from Nation. No, 1 ball, 1 strike. There's a hard hit foul down left line. 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that just getting away from the catcher. Full count on the hitter, and that one getting the hand of the umpire. Fouling that one back. And hit down to shortstop Dove, who makes the play over to one and gets the out. We've got 2 outs here in the top of the 5th innings. Coming into bat for the Albion Anteaters, we've got Caleb Parsons. And that one snookered down to the pitcher, Quinn Wickens, who gets the out over at 1. We're heading into the bottom of the 5th innings. No more runs on the board there for Albion, or no runs on the board there for Albion. Currently 6 runs to 0. Leading off here for the PCU Devils, we've got Romana Kumuro on deck, circle, we've got Max Sargent. So with that change for Albion, we've got Isaac Nation out in right field. All other positions still remain. And nice pitch there by Christy Agnew to draw the swing out of Kumuro for a lead strike. And fouling that one back, we've got 2 strikes. And a great pitch there by Agnew to get the out of the plate for the first out here in the bottom of the bottom of the 5th innings. And into batter's box we have number 44, Max Sargent. And hard hit down the 5-6 hole there for Sargent. Pick up the single. And that'll bring into the batter's box now for the Devils, Rico Ratu. And Josh Snellgar DR coming in to do the running for Sargent. And a dive attempt there by the shortstop to pick that one up, but just getting through out of his glove, out to the left fielder. Snellgar sliding into third base, beating the throw. And Ratu over at second base. So runners on 2 and 3 here for the Devils with 1 out, and that brings into the batter's box now number 47, Matt Ogier. And ball down low. And on the pass ball, Snelgar makes it across the plate to get the run that the PCU Devils needed to end the game here in the 5th innings. Taking the win, 7 runs to 0. And congratulations to them. Thanks for joining us here at Dynasty Ballpark. As I say, join us next week. We've got plenty of action starting 9 a.m.